good morning. That comes to a stop quicker than you think. I
Oh,
should have watched
very
the countdown
triggering.
there, shouldn't I? Very triggering. Very triggering. Good morning, everyone.
Oh, good morning, everyone. We are live somehow
We're live
The
again.
show is back. Welcome back to Caffeine Campaigns after our short hiatus there for 2 weeks. Did you miss us?
Did
No.
you?
No.
No, silence there, Mary. Silence.
Joking.
Take the hint, shouldn't we?
Well, exactly. But welcome back, nevertheless, to the podcast that is not a podcast. What is it? We don't know at this point. It's a lightly caffeinated marketing support group with a LinkedIn Live link.
Absolutely it is. And for those of you who are listening to in the UK, oh my God, this week it has been like hot, like
It's too hot for me.
properly hot, isn't it? It's like absolutely take your t-shirts off and just no webcams on while you're doing work kind of thing, because it is hot. Not like I'll just take a cardigan just in case kind of hot. We're talking like actual, like my steering wheel feels like a panini press hot, like really hot day.
It has. It's been awful. We've moved downstairs. Yes, the Met Office has had a busy one as well. We've been tackling record-breaking May and spring temperatures with 35.1 degrees recorded at Kew Gardens. So naturally, Chris and I have spent the week doing the most British thing possible, talking about the weather as if we're personally responsible for it.
And look at me going straight into this, talking about the weather. Absolutely. And for anyone outside of the UK, I guess all that we've just gone and done is confirm that we are British. We've discussed the weather, my citizenship, and so is Mary's, has both just been reaffirmed.
Stamp the British passport. We've officially spoken about the weather first. Anyway, yes, it has also, in addition to that, been a bank holiday week. So, oh, God, sorry, I've got a bad neck. So every time I do a quick jolt, it sends... Anyway, it's not about me. Anyway, what we would like to say is that we hope that you are all enjoying a shorter week, whether you had a longer weekend or at least one confused Tuesday where you had no idea what day it was, opened your laptop like a lost Victorian child being sent up a chimney.
Where do you get these from, Mary? Every week you come out with something more and more hilarious.
You should just see what's happening inside my brain. It's chaos, it's madness.
That's
Anyway,
all that
what are
you're
we doing this week?
verbalizing. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Bullshit aside, this week, eyes on the money. This week, we are talking about how to build content around customer questions. So specifically looking at this very narrow swim lane.
Yes, exactly. Or how to stop sitting in a meeting room asking, what should we talk about, while ignoring the fact that your customers are already asking you things every single day. And this is actually a topic quite close to my heart, because back in my former years, we're talking 15 years ago, in my customer support days, we had this all the time. We were literally begging to be heard, support tickets, support cases. We were answering the same questions all the time. So this is definitely a topic close to my heart.
Absolutely. But before we get into it, we are attracting new people to the sign up every single week. So we better do a very quick, brief introduction. Welcome to all you newbies. This other person on the call next to me, she is Mary Hughes. She is KB's integrated program marketing manager. I guess in short term, she's keeper of the agency chaos, also probably your hopes and dreams and bringing your visions to life. And the person she's most likely to ask, is that actually a customer question, or have we just invented a problem because the graphic looked nice for it? That's the kind of person Mary is.
Usually both. And he is Chris Britton. He's bitten off more than he can chew from me. Britton, founder of KB and award-winning marketeer. Man,
are you okay? Do you want to put your teeth in?
It's my neck. It's my neck.
Oh, you speak through your neck, do you?
Oh, okay, I'm going to start that again. Usually both, and he is Chris Britton, founder of KB, award-winning marketeer, and a man who can hear one sales objection and turn it into a campaign before I've even finished my first panini of the day.
First panini of the day, or even first coffee. I don't know how you can eat anything hot or drink anything hot in this weather. I'm literally on Diet Coke and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning.
I'm on caffeine. I'm on caffeine coffee. Oh, God, it's not enough. Whatever it is, it's not enough. Anyway, so I think what we are all missing and waiting for is the first factoid of the day. Cue the music.
Factoid of the day.
That was nice. According to Content Marketing Institute's B2B content marketing trends, insights for 2026 is 65% of effective teams say content relevance and quality improved performance, and 40% pointed to a customer understanding and segmentation. So shockingly, knowing what your customer cares about is actually going to help your marketing work.
Revolutionary. Someone seriously needs to notify LinkedIn immediately.
It's almost like they're framing your content for you, but everybody chooses to ignore it. Okay, Chris.
No
First
comment.
of all, let's just start with the obvious. Why should businesses build content around customer questions instead of just brainstorming topics and hoping the content lands?
Absolutely. I think most businesses, they always say, actually, Jeff Bezos,
Oh, Jeff.
who is the
Jeff.
founder of Amazon, for those of you who don't know, who have been living under a rock,
Where have you been?
where have you been? He talks about being customer obsessed. And I think part of that being customer obsessed point that he makes is being as close to your customer as possible. And part of that is understanding what their wants, needs, and desires are so that you can
Mm,
answer those and naturally attract more customers. But customer questions, I guess, they prove demand. They're not imaginary content themes that you can then start working around. We're talking that is effectively the foundations for really, really good content. And questions are helping reveal intent, what it is that they're looking for, what it is that brought them to you, what the problem is, and how, even some questions are the most obvious one, especially if you run like a SaaS business and you have a
mm.
pricing model and you hide it behind a gated page. How much does it cost? Well, they're actually getting closer to that decision, but you want to gate it because you want to talk to a salesperson. People might not be liking that. So are we listening to what people want? Exactly, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And then from a planning point of view, customer questions actually give the content calendar a reason to exist. And also the phrasing around these questions matters as well. Customers aren't going to ask, how can we leverage the best in class solution? They're going to ask, why is this broken and how much is it going to cost me? So those basic questions are not stupid. They're often the questions your team forgets to answer. Because you live in that subject every day, you don't think they matter, but genuinely they do. And, the simplicity of that matters too. So instead of
100%.
starting with what do we want to stay, what do we want to say here? We start with what do customers need to know?
Exactly, and that yeah, 100%. That shift is what makes the content more useful, more searchable as well, because a best in how do we leverage, using that example you gave just now, a best in
Yeah.
class solution?
Mm,
People aren't looking for that when they're looking for the answer to why is this broken? How much is it going to cost me? That's what people are looking for when they're looking for an answer. They know that you're going to be best in class. They wouldn't be on your site if you weren't best in class. We've kind of
yeah.
covered that ground already.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Anyway, let's get to some questions that we've had submitted to us. We've got a great question here from Olivia Hartley, who says, firstly, morning, Olivia. Thank you for your
Morning.
question. Good morning, darling. We have loads of customer questions, but they're scattered everywhere. Sales has some, support has some, marketing has some, and half of them live in people's heads. So she's asking, where do we start?
Ooh, wow.
Good
Well,
question.
because of my mind and how the scaffolding and architecture works in my mind, I'm going matrix, matrix, build a matrix, get it all put into, and I
Nosebleed.
need to be,
Oh,
yeah, exactly, nosebleed. Let's just bring that back to, let's bring that back to something simple. So I think you need to start inside the business. Obviously, you've mentioned about sales and all of that, but I think going through CRM notes, support tickets, and using AI as a tool here, and I'm a big advocate for using AI as a tool, as we covered in the previous episode,
hmm.
using AI as a tool is going to really, really help individuals. Well, you can pull out the themes from those support tickets, so it helps you as a marketing individual to be able to understand what those themes are much, much quicker. Looking at the live chats and get feedback that people get on proposals, I think that's really a good starting point. And then also then create that shared question bank. I suppose that's
Mm.
a nicer way of saying than go and create a matrix, because as Mary said just now, it makes people have a nosebleed and
We don't
panic
need the
when they hear the
lingo.
word
We don't need the
matrix.
lingo. We've got
Don't
enough
need the
going on in the
lingo.
world.
We do, absolutely. And capture the question. So may the biggest tip I would give here is like look at the exact wording, the source, how often that is appearing, and what stage is the buyer at. So if you can then segment that to say, okay, these are all the people that are pre-customers, these are all the people that are existing customers, this is what prospects are asking for, this is what this is what our partners are asking for, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. That will help you scope out what that looks like, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And if your questions stay in, your random notebooks, Slack threads, and somebody's, I'll remember that brain folder, they will eventually disappear and become less
Well, they
important.
always disappear from that brain folder, don't they? I mean,
They
how many
do.
times do you think, Mary, oh, I remember to do that? And then we go, both of us are just like, what was that thing that we said we were going
That's
to
why
do
I've
last
got
week? Oh,
notebooks.
look at
That's why
you.
we've got
We've got a
notepads
notebook.
now. We're really high tech and KB. No, I'm joking. We are. But basically, what we are saying is that genuinely sales and support are sitting on gold. Ask them for 10 questions they're sick of answering, and then you've got so much content there to feed out. So and just another reminder there, not to tidy up that customer language too much. Corporate translation is where the good questions go to die. So keep it simple.
Absolutely. So the first step, I think, isn't really glamorous. It's all about capturing. So getting the questions out of people's heads, out of those brain folders, and get them all into one place, which I guess
Yes.
is, it's not that glam, is it? It's not
It's
sexy.
not like glam. It's less sexy than a campaign launch, but more useful than 3 hours of arguing about where a button should say, whether a button should say "learn more" or "find out more" or "discover more." Let's reduce the
100%.
complexity here.
100%.
Okay, right. Let's talk tools without turning this into an episode of software as a personality trait. Where should marketeers be looking?
It's a really interesting subject because there are so many tools out there on the market that
Mm,
can do, every tool will do the same thing slightly differently,
yeah,
especially when you look at content and these types of things. And I think ultimately, tools also cost money. Free tools are not that great. And you can then very quickly find yourself in a position where you're spending thousands, if not tens of thousands of pounds a month on recurring subscriptions, because most software as a service business models are built on subscriptions and recurring revenue. So
mm,
I would say there are some free to access tools like Google Search Console to see what queries that are bringing people to your site. But there's also tools that are like Answer the Public, where you can put in a topic,
that's a
or
good
I
one.
think you can do it via URL. Yeah. And they help you choose the right questions for your region, for your country, and you can go through and understand what people are searching for beyond your website. So let's say you're a very new business, you haven't got that website traffic, you can't use Google Search Console's free
Yeah,
information. Answer the Public will help you understand what people are looking for around your topic, something completely unrelated, but we could say, for example, holiday homes in England. It actually turns out, only because we've done this research before in the past, that people actually search for holiday homes with hot tubs. That's like a massive
I
selling
know I
point when
do.
people are looking for holiday. Yeah, exactly. We all have a hot tub. We all have
What's a holiday without a hot
a
tub at
hot
the
tub.
end of the day?
What's what is a holiday without a hot tub? I can't answer that question. But so use, I think I say would be, use the tools to spot the patterns. That would be my best bit of advice here.
Yeah, great advice. And also make it a bit more of a habit than you have been. 5 questions from sales, 5 questions from support, 5 from the search data platforms we've just been talking about will be seriously useful. But don't chase a volume. A niche question from the right buyer or the right prospect can be more valuable than a huge vague topic that everybody has already battered to death. So
Yeah.
yeah, just being aware of that, not to do the overkill. Anyway, another mini factoid. Cue the
Oh,
music.
hang on, we got to do a different one. Mini factoid of the week.
It's just a small one. Okay, so Answer to Public is a search, listing, and content ideation tool that pulls autocomplete data from platforms including Google, Bing, YouTube, Amazon, TikTok, and Instagram. So basically, it shows you how the internet is panicking about your topic in question.
Yeah, absolutely. In that question format. So I think that's very, very useful.
Mm,
The thing really here is the tool is not the strategy, and we've got to remember that, but it helps you see the questions. It can help spark that. Um, it can help spark your own imagination as to where that question can go.
yeah,
You still
enlightens
have
the
to
way.
decide which one to matter. Exactly, exactly. Enlights. Oh, I like that. Enlights the way.
Lights the way, shows us this way. Talk about this, talk about that. Do not talk about that. Anyway, we have another question, thankfully, from Gareth Milner. Hi, Gareth. Thanks for tuning in.
Morning, Gareth.
He asks, we sell complex B2B services. Oh, so I'm so sorry for your loss. No, I'm joking. We love them. More complex, the better. And customer questions are never neat. Yes, we understand
Oh,
that,
that's a good
Gareth.
point.
How do
Mm.
you turn messy questions into a proper content plan, or simply just questions you want to answer?
Mm. Okay, having a
Let's
think, having
noodle
a
on that
think.
one.
I
Noodle it, noodle it.
Let's noodle it. Yeah, that is a good question, because we see a lot of complex selling. Not only that the product is scientific and complex in itself, but also the sales cycle is complex due to the number of moving parts, departments that would be involved in integrating and
For
ingesting a
sure.
piece of software, for example.
Hmm.
So there's the buying cycles can be ginormous, but equally the onboarding cycles can be absolutely just as big. So I think you need to group questions by their intent. So learning and comparing and buying and implementing, like using those as your main like categories? Are there troubleshooting questions? Could there be questions around like, I don't know, renewals or buying again or upgrading or whatever that could
those
look like?
sticking points, isn't it? It's like, where are you actually seeing the sticking points? How can we answer questions around that?
100%. And then there's another layer to that I think you can then put in the theme. So is it that people are talking about, I guess, like the cost, the risk, the time that it takes to ingest it or use it, or what the process is? All of those kind of points, those themes, I would say that you would then build it out through. And then the last bit would be to prioritize using like some kind of, oh God, I need to move away from matrices, but more matrices, maybe matrices.
I
Anyway,
don't know. I
I
just
need to move
switch
away
off when
from that.
anybody mentions that.
Matrix. But I personally would do a scoring, because I'm very numbers driven, and I need
You
to
are.
go, okay, this is scoring really high, this is scoring really low. That's my priority. That gives me clear guidance. But I'm someone who's driven by data. That might not necessarily work for you, but you may say, okay, I want to tackle these 30 things over the next 12 months, and this is how I'm going to build it into a campaign plan and into my content calendar. I hope that helps. Maybe you can add something more insightful there, Mary.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Tough
mean,
question.
you always give me the numbers, and then I break it down to anybody else that doesn't quite work in that remit. So I would always say start with the questions that slow things down. If sales are answering the same objection manually every single week, that should become content. Look for so it doesn't have to be matrices and graphs and all those things. Love that you do that, Chris.
All right, Mary.
Look for confidence questions. How long does it take? Who needs to be involved? What happens if it goes wrong? How do we know when it worked? 10 strong customer questions can become that full month of posts, emails, blogs, videos, and communication out to the people that need it most, your clients, your customers, your prospects. That's what I would do.
Exactly. Yeah. And not to treat every question as totally separate idea. That's
Yeah.
where I was talking about like grouping them. Here's another buzzword bingo. Cluster them together.
Love a cluster.
Love a cluster. Do we need to
We're
say
talking
that?
clusters.
We're talking. Oh, love a cluster.
Honey nut for
Cluster
me.
them. Honey nut cluster. Absolutely. If people ask how much does it cost, what affects pricing, those types of things, and why is one agency more expensive than another, that's your pricing cluster. That's how we're going to package those up, just like Mary illustrated there. Have you ever thought of becoming like one of those, what do they call them, flight attendants? Your exits are here, and here, but there's no exit from this LinkedIn Live.
Yes, so stay with us, guys. We are coming to a point shortly. Anyway, and then what your clusters could then become is up to you. A blog, a short video, a LinkedIn post, a sales email, a proposal, an explainer, one question, who knows, several useful assets. No content zombie wandering around saying delighted to announce this, that, and the other.
No one's delighted to announce anything.
No, certainly not about
unless they're being
matrices.
promoted, because apparently that's what people do on LinkedIn. Delighted.
We're all
to announce
delighted.
they've
We're
been
all
promoted.
delighted. Anyway,
Delighted. Humble.
let's get to another customer question to keep this rogue webinar that's not a webinar. It's also not a podcast. We don't know what it is or why we're doing here. But once we've actually got the question, what should the actual content look like? Because some articles take 400 words to get to the answer. And by then, I've made a cup of tea, aged 3 years, and joined a rival webinar. Chris, help us. What the hell are we doing?
Yeah, and I think the key point that you've got there, and you've made really well, is that what we don't want to do is when you look up recipe, like BBC Good Food, those kind of things, they give you the whole backstory, why their grandma passed that recipe down through the ages, why they should be making it. And it's not till you get to the end, it's like, oh, right, all I need is 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of one cup of sugar and some water. Like,
exactly.
Come on, it was ridiculous. So I think you need to get to the point. And I think also, ironically, it took me a while to get to the point there, but you need to get to the point. And with an FAQ as well, I think it's quite important to say that you don't want to give chapter and verse. Sometimes just literally giving 1 word or 2 word answers is yes, absolutely, or yes, that's fine within our platform. Our platform can handle that. That can also be the kind of answers that you need, because that's ultimately what will get you featured as snippets and structured schemas on Google. platforms as well. Google search. God, my mind's gone to mush now. I'm trying to answer this question.
Well,
So I think,
well,
I know you can tell. I need some more caffeine clearly, and I've only got Diet Coke, so I need more caffeine in me. So I think ultimately is don't bury the answer. Don't have a lot of background waffle, noise, etc., all of that. And I think you need to expand it with the context. So you need to give examples, proof points. What are the common mistakes that you see, steps to get to the right next stage ultimately?
Yeah, absolutely. A good structure is direct answer using plain English as the explanation, an example, send some proof, and what the next steps should be. And honestly, saying when something isn't the right fit, if what you're offering isn't actually going to help customer get to value quickly, just keep that honest. I think that's going to build more trust than pretending your solution is a fit for absolutely everyone. I think sometimes, especially when salespeople go rogue, you try and fit everybody into the same box. But yeah, that's not always the best way to go with that one.
Yeah, to your point, I think if the question is how long does a content strategy take, for example, let's use that as an example. The first line should answer it. It should be straight to the point. We don't want it to be in today's fast-paced digital landscape. AI.
If I see fast-paced digital landscape at the front and center of one more paragraph, I'm going to put my laptop in the paddling pool with the dog. So
we're on the hot theme. We're on the hot theme.
It's very hot. It's very, very hot. It's very hot.
Very hot, and it's only 10. It's only just gone 10.
I know.
So a useful answer might be, I guess, a content strategy usually takes 2 to 4 weeks to build, depending on how clear your audience, your offer, your data and decision-making processes already are. That will help you. Then you can go on to explain the variables, but that's ultimately where it should start. You've answered the majority of the question front and center.
Exactly. So it's helpful. It answers the question. It gives them context, and it doesn't mess them about. That is what I think we need to be doing. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about AI again, because it's in our lives. It doesn't seem to be going away. And we're not talking about it in a robots are coming for your job kind of way, and certainly not in a write me a 900 blogs by lunchtime. See episode 4 for more details on that. So how should people, nice plug there, did you get that? Episode 4, everybody watch, we need the views. How should people be using AI properly here, Chris? Tell us more.
Well, just about your point that you said, robots are coming for our jobs. Back in the day, you used to have people who would press a button in an elevator. That would be their job. You used to have people that go around but they got replaced by people who don't need to do that anymore. You used to have people that go around and tap on the windows early in the morning to get the workers up, but then alarm clocks are invented. Jobs evolve and people evolve, and we as a nation, or even as a global society, seem to really fear change rather than embrace it. I don't think that AI is going to come for our job. And I know I'm slightly going off piece here, but I think this is really important to make, because I'm almost a little bit sick of hearing people being like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job because of AI and these types of things. You're not going to lose your job, but it can make you better / quicker at being able to execute things. It's not, but trust me, from the output of what AI produces, it's not going to, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. That's all I'm going to say on that point.
Lovely points there, by the way, though, Chris, with the, the knocking on the windows analogy. You're absolutely right. People should just chill out a little bit. It's not coming for us yet, is it?
Exactly. I think, and also AI is not here to replace expertise ultimately. Like, humans are people who are holding the accuracy, the judgment, and I guess examples of proof, opinions, all of that is human centric. AI can't feel emotions. It can't. It can understand what people engage with, but it doesn't necessarily know what the triggers are that are going to help people engage, because it's not an emotional being, and it only knows what we feed it. Ultimately, it only knows what it has as a reference point to use as from a data point of view that it can reference. You've got a lot more experience than what AI has from that point of view,
and the human touch. So don't discount yourselves just yet. But yeah, I would use AI as the assistant that sorts the pile, not the person who publishes the final answer. Let it help you, but just don't let it run the show.
That's a really good analogy, actually, Mary, there. Yeah. Assistant that sorts the pile.
Yeah, we're full of compliments today. So yeah, good prompt would be, here are 60 real customer questions. Group them by buyer intent, identify the top themes, and suggest which should become blogs, emails, videos, FAQs, or sales enablement. It is fantastic at doing that. A bad prompt would be write me a thought leadership article on content marketing. That is how you get beige content with sparkly bullet points, which is not the way.
And the
Anyway,
odd emoji in there.
staying on our AI theme there, are we ready for a factoid? Chris, are you ready? We need another jingle. Go.
I'm ready. Oh my God. Factoid time, factoid time. It's factoid time.
Loved it. God, we're good. The Content Marketing Institute found that 95% of B2B marketers say that their organizations used 95%, that's bloody everyone, use AI-powered applications. So the question is not really, are people using AI? We know that they are. 95% of us are anyway. The question is whether it is making content better or just making average content faster.
Exactly. And Google's guidance is pretty clear on this. Generative AI can be useful for research and structure, but using it to create lots of pages without any value, adding any value, you're going to be delisted. You're going to be whacked in that spam territory.
Yeah.
You are not going to grow. And the focus still needs to be on accuracy, quality, relevance, critical.
Exactly. Get out of that spam zone. Nobody likes spam. Although I think quite a lot of people do like spam, but
Quite
anyway,
like they've been going around a while. I think they do like it, Mary.
I've gone off piece. We're talking about canned ham now. Anyway, so AI can help you chop the veg, but it should not be left to cook alone and serve it up to your clients and call Bravey brown hydration sauce. We do not want those kind of mistakes, do we, Chris?
Brilliant, Mary. Brilliant. I mean, you're here not only for your talent, but for your humor as well. So,
I mean,
yes.
it's working so far.
It's working so far. Exactly. The best workflow, real question in, AI helps you organize it. And I think then human expertise then adds the value. And AI might be able to help you to adapt, or, can it help you with proofreading? Because, that's not something that you're great at, but you've got all these ideas because you're a visionary. Can it help you proofread? Can it help you put all your thoughts together and compile those thoughts? And add in those human reviews then before anything goes live, ultimately. That's our top tips.
Exactly. And let's just make sure that our viewers are getting some value from here. So let's take that down to a practical level. So say the customer question is, how often should we be posting on LinkedIn? What happens next? What should they be doing?
Direct answer, I would say, would be frequency matters less than the relevance. So there are some LinkedIn influencers who are posting 3 or 4 times a day, but ultimately the frequency isn't the important part. It's the relevance, the consistency of what you're producing, and the quality. 2 or 4 strong posts a week can really beat daily filler that's constantly going out. 100%. Turn it into a cluster. So maybe you even theme it and you say the next couple of weeks that you're going to talk about XYZ, and you'll start to see momentum building, because the way that the LinkedIn AI and algorithm has changed over the years is effectively now it's producing and serving content to people that are interested in those topics. So especially recently, because a lot of people have said their engagement has gone down, but that's also because they're not clustering and bringing those topics together. So use AI to suggest a different angle, but add in real examples from what you've seen. And, we all see examples. Let's talk about them. Let's share them with people online.
Exactly. So I suppose then, the LinkedIn post angle here, what we're really saying is posting daily will not save a boring idea. The blog angle, how often should B2B companies post on LinkedIn? The video angle is 3 signs your posting cadence is too ambitious. So just use some restraint here, people. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Absolutely. The point of one point is that just because one customer question does not mean it has to become one lonely blog. It can become a useful little ecosystem ultimately.
Yes, and as long as it doesn't become content spaghetti, delicious in theory, terrible on a dashboard.
Spaghetti on a dashboard. I'm down for that.
Funny. That wasn't funny.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I thought that was great. Okay, clearly I got a different sense of humor than you.
Okay, quick fire questions. Quickly. Quick, because apparently people enjoy watching us attempt to be concise, which we quite never get to. It's already 28 minutes past 10. Anyway, should every customer question become content? Quickly, Christy.
No, I would say no, because some should become content, some should become then sales enablement, some should become, for example, product or onboarding fixes, those kind of things.
Yes. Is Answer the Public a content strategy?
No, despite people using it as that, I would say it's a research tool. A whisk is useful, but it's not a cake, ultimately. There's a good analogy for
nice. Can we use AI to write customer question content?
Use AI to help write the customer question content, but do not give it the keys to then, and then go to lunch. That's not what we're here to do.
And should we be answering pricing questions?
Yes, where possible. Give ranges, give factors, give context, and ultimately guidance, but don't make people play commercial hide and seek, because so many companies hide their pricing page and pricing until they speak to a salesperson, and people just don't want that. I'm actually on a WhatsApp group, and I know this is quick fire, but here's a little real world example. I'm on a WhatsApp group with marketing leaders and agencies, freelancers, fractional directors, all of those, and people literally post in there. I'll give you a real example that only happened last week.
Go for it.
How much is Cognizant? Because I don't want to have a sales call with them. Are we talking thousands, or are we talking tens of thousands of pounds? And it's like, if people are asking, and then loads of people were commenting in the group, like, this is how much I pay, this is how much. And what was also, you were also seeing, is how much of a difference people were paying.
Oh, God.
So it's quite don't hide the pricing, because it also sounds like you've got a very unethical pricing model where you charge based on what you think people are going to afford rather than what the service is worth.
Sneaky, very, very sneaky. It's an old game. We don't want to play. Shut up and tell us what the prices are. Anyway, is an FAQ page enough?
Not usually. FAQs do help, but questions should also help shape things like the blogs, videos, emails, sales materials, all of those points that I was making just now.
Yes, absolutely. And what is the easiest place for anybody to start?
Sales, massively. And they also like to talk, so why not?
Can't shut them up
Ask
most of the time.
support for 10 questions. Yeah, exactly. Quite. Ask support for 10 questions that they're sick of answering. That list is probably your next campaign in its own right.
Okay, and Chris, give it to us in a sentence. Come on.
Oh, shit.
Quick fire, darling. No pressure.
Collect the real questions, group them by intent, answer them plainly, and make sure you're adding your expertise. I think that's the really important point. Add your expertise, choose the right format, and then use AI to assist you, but don't let it author everything.
Great point. So, to bring this mildly sweaty marketing ramble back into something practical, your customers are already telling you what content to create.
They are absolutely telling you. They're telling you in sales calls, support tickets, search queries, comments, absolutely all of that. Those channels they're telling you in. Yeah.
The list goes on. So capture those questions, keep the original language so people can find the answers they're looking for, group them, prioritize them, and answer them properly.
Group them, or if you're me, cluster them. And please don't just ask AI to write a blog and then publish 1,200 words of beige internet porridge.
We're
or just beige porridge.
We're
what
sick
color
of it.
would porridge be if it wasn't beige, actually? Why do I add the word beige?
Blueberries.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, yes, use the tools. Use Answer the Public, use Google Search Console, use AI, use your sales team, use everyone you've got, use your support team. Don't forget about the support team. I'm always repping the support team because it's bloody hard work, and they are the ones that listen to your customer queries and have to answer them without you making any changes in the background. They're fighting for their lives out there. Someone listen to them, will you please?
And use your bloody ears. I think that point is really one that is underrated. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, massively. Now, next week we are back Friday, the 5th of June at 10 a.m. Yes, June. What the hell is going on there? I blinked in March, and now we're somehow emotionally adjacent to Christmas. How have we got here? Somebody tell me.
Jingle bells,
Mariah?
Christmas in July.
She's back. Not yet. Chris, go.
She's defrosting.
Someone get some Adderall.
Next week episode, how to get found when Google gives the answer via AI to a user's question. And this is, I get asked this so often, so this should be a really interesting episode.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. Or how to survive when Google eats the sandwich it just asked you to make.
100%. So we're going to talk about, those little AI answers. You ask the question, it gives an AI answer, and it gives you that back. What happens when people get that answer before they click, and how can brands still be useful, visible, trusted, and ultimately, what we're all here to do is how do you then convert that into something like revenue?
So basically, light Friday morning viewing, existential search panic with coffee next week. Stay tuned, people. Stay tuned.
Absolutely perfect. Absolutely.
Right, let's wrap this baby up. He is Chris.
And she is Mary.
This has been Caffeine Campaigns, the podcast. It's not a podcast, but what is it?
I've still got no bloody idea what it
Neither
is.
have I. Neither have I. Marketing for people who like useful advice with a side of nonsense. Right then, bye for now.
5th of June, 10 a.m. See you then. Goodbye, everyone.